Just on my way up to Foxton, check up on the guys, see how they're going with the building in the shed out there that we're getting done at the moment. Turn this music down a bit. And this morning I dug up the antlers of the last stag that I shot last raw. It was a 9-pointer, not a massive head, but man, it was an awesome stag. Really good condition, got it just before the raw started. And I took my girls up with me, my 3 girls, for a bit of a hunt, and had a bit of an accident with the antler. So when I get out Foxton, I'll tell you all about it. I've dug it up, it's all nice and clean, and I'm thinking about sticking it out on the new shed so it outlooks over my property. So anyway, when I get to Foxton, I'll get it out, show you, and I'll tell you the story. Catch you soon. Right, here we are, Foxton Beach, at the batch again. Got the deer head in the back. Let's go have a look at it and I'll tell you the story about it. Here he is. This is a 9-pointer. Not a massive head, but a pretty one all the same. And this is the last deer that I actually shot it last, I think it was about the end of March last year. And yeah, a bit of a full-on story with it really. I took my 3 young girls up hunting. My wife was away at a concert up in Auckland. We decided to go for a bit of a walk, a bit of a hunt. It was right early on in the raw. And we were at the end of a road, and we were quite a long way in on a farmer's property, but there was no houses for a long way away. And we'd been hunting all the afternoon. It was beautiful weather, really good weather, and it just closed in really quick when we were starting to turn around and come back. And we had thunder and lightning smashing all around us, and it was quite scary. So we dropped down off the top of the hill into the side and tried to get in under some cover. And just as we were crouched down under a tree, one of my girls pointed out, and we looked up ahead, and this fine specimen was standing strong right up in front of us. So I quickly pulled up, jumped down on the ground, and because I was aiming uphill, I shot it really well right in the front. But I also managed to scope myself quite bad right round here. So that was the first thing that happened that was quite funny. So I had blood pouring down and the water was making it look worse, so my girls were sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, what's happening here? And then we went up and we got it and we cleaned it up. And I don't know, we just got a bike going by. Next door neighbour on his bike. Anyway, I shot the deer and we went up. We had to do a little bit of a track to find it. It had gone down a hill a little bit. But we cleaned it up, and normally I would spend a lot of time with the deer. You know, I'd cut the heart out and put it up in the tree, but for some reason it was all a bit of a rush and a bit of a panic because of the weather, and I really wanted to get the girls out before dark. So we cut all the meat off and boned it out, took the head, took the back legs. My oldest daughter Lucy, who's just turned 11 years old, so she was only just turned 10 at the time, she carried a whole leg out. She's one awesome girl. She carried a whole leg. I had the other leg, plus I had all the boned out meat in my pack. I probably had a good, I don't know, 40 kilos, 50 kilos of meat in my pack. And I was carrying the deer head in my left arm, and as we were walking down quite a steep hill, I slipped, and when I fell back, the deer antlers came around here on me, and I'm not sure, but I think it was this point here. We're not quite sure on which one it was. When I fell down, it went straight through into my arm here, and you can just see, let me try and show you. You can see this scar here in my arm, and the point of the antler went through there, up under my shoulder and here, and up into the top here. And because I had the heavy bag on, I had my heavy pack on, I couldn't roll off the deer, and I was sitting there trying to roll off, and all the time my girls are getting a bit concerned, and they're sitting there watching me in a bit of pain, obviously. So I had to get them to help me to roll off it, and when it rolled off, the deer antler popped out, and all of the meat and all of the fat came pouring out the hole, and it didn't look too exciting. It was a bit gruesome. So then I've got my 10-year-old girl Lucy at the time sitting there helping me push this meat and fat back into my arm. And then we stopped that because I took a moment to think, and I thought, hang on, maybe that's what's stopping the blood coming out, because there's some pretty big full-on arteries in here that I didn't want to bleed. We were still a good kilometre from the end of the road where the car was. And yeah, but it was okay. There wasn't a lot of blood. It was just a big messy hole. So we sat down, and it gave me a really good opportunity to talk to the girls about what to do in a situation when it doesn't all go quite to plan or there's an accident. And I was able to really teach them about staying still, staying calm, thinking of what needs to happen to get out, what the dangers might be, what any possible issues might be. So it was a really good time. And it was a good time for me to stay calm because I didn't want the girls to get scared. So by the time we got myself off and got the antler out of my arm, we stashed the antler or the head just on the side of the track because we couldn't carry it, obviously. And I just said to my two little girls, Sam and Kate. Sam was 6 years or 5 years at the time. She might have been, no, she was 6, sorry. And Kate was 8. And I said, look girls, I can't help you. You just need to keep your eyes on me, follow me, and just help each other. And then I turned to Lucy and I said, Lucy, you watch me, you keep a good eye on me, and you just follow me, and you look after me. And we just beelined it. We just took off. And I tell you what, my 3 girls, they are so strong. Little blondies, out in the middle of the bush, on the way out in the back of a farm. It's dark, there's lightning crashing all around us, the rain is torrential, and they've got a father who they've just watched impale himself with a deer antler and not have a very pleasant time. So, you know, full respect for them. They got me back to the truck. Lucy helped me undress, got me down into my gruts, and then we jumped in and we started to drive home. We had about an hour and a half drive home, in which I got quite disorientated because it was dark and it was raining so hard, so I ended up driving around in circles out in the back country for a while. Had to stop off and yell out to some people who were out on their deck having a fag, I think. I yelled out and said, oh, where's town from here? So they pointed me in the direction. We got home and I dropped the girls off at the neighbours, and then I went down to A&E. And walking into A&E with blood all over me and what looks like a knife stab wound in my arm on a Friday night, Palmerston North Hospital. The first thing they thought was that I'd been in a fight down at the pub, or someone had stabbed me, or some sort of altercation. So I quickly told them that I'd been impaled by a deer antler, and they shoved some cameras up there and had a look. And in the end they found that it went in about 4.5 to 5 inches. So yeah, right up into there. And when I was laying on the ground and I was trying to get off, I could feel the antler rubbing in my bone and my shoulder here. So it wasn't a very pleasant feeling. But it was cool. No long-term damage. I was so lucky. I missed all of my arteries. I missed all of my main muscle groups that went in between the muscle groups. And yeah, after a couple of weeks of just having it in a sling and a few stitches, it was perfect. So a couple of days later I walked up and got the head, and this morning, as I said, I've just dug it up for the first time to have a look at it. And I haven't shot a deer since. And if you've watched my movie that I put out just before Christmas about hunting up at Ruahine Corner, I've just been in sort of a time of reflection about it. It didn't put me off, it didn't scare me or anything, but I just felt like I needed to put my rifle away for a while and just really take account of what I'm actually up in the hills for and what I'm doing. Because, I mean, you guys know what it's like. Sometimes you do dumb things and you don't think right because you've got a mission on your mind. So I just wanted to slow down and just see where I fit within all of the hunting and things like that. I've never been a person who goes out hunting for heads or trophies. That's not me. I shoot animals that are in good condition, that are good for eating. But I'm going to do something with this, and I've decided the new shed that we're building out at the back here, I'm going to put it up over top of the door so it outlooks, sort of overlooks over the back of the section, sort of like a guardian or something like that. Would be quite cool. And when I get back from overseas at the end of this year, I'm actually gonna I do a bit of bone carving and stuff. So I'm gonna bleach this. I'll find out how to do it properly online, and then I'm gonna carve it all in some sort of a design make it look really cool and impressive, so that this animal can live on for a lot longer, and then I can remember the lessons learnt that this animal was able to teach me. So that's really cool. So that's the story of the stag that got me, and the last stag that I shot, and I'm sure it won't be the last animal that I shoot. Yeah, but full respect to it, and full respect to my girls who helped me get out of that situation, because it could have been a lot worse. So these are my 3 awesome girls. This is Katie, and this is Sammy, my youngest, and this is Lucy, my big one. This girl here, show them your muscles, man. Show your muscles. Show your muscles. This girl here, she carried out a whole leg of that stag, the whole back leg, all on her own. I don't know, it must have been, I don't know, 10, 15 kilos or something like that. She carried that the whole way out. And as for these two, Sammy and Kate, they had all sorts in their bags. They were wet through, freezing cold, and these 3 girls managed to get me to the car when I was injured quite well, or injured quite badly. So they're pretty awesome girls. Anyway, that's my 3 girls. Say bye if you want.
Bye.
I'll make sure I don't fall over on it this time. I'll show you where I'm going to put it anyway. Oh, here's the boys. They're still doing a fair bit of work on the shed. Oh, he's running away because the camera's coming. Hey? So this is the shed that they're building, and that up there is where I'm probably planning at putting it, up the top there, when the boys are finished. So that's cool. Don't you want to say hi? I won't put you in. So yeah, it could have gone a lot worse. Could have been lights out. When I was talking to the doctors at the hospital, they were saying that the pack, because the pack was quite tight around my arm, obviously because of the meat, and it came in under here, and they seemed to think that it could have deflected off that and then gone into my arm. And if it had gone the other way, if I didn't have the pack on, it would have gone straight through my rib cage, possibly into my heart, my kidneys, my liver, and that would have been lights out pretty quick. So, you know, there's a lot of things in the bush that can do you, and it doesn't have to be an animal that's alive that can do damage to you. It can be dead. And you know, I'd be interested in any stories that any of you might have if this has happened to you before, if you've fallen on an antler or impaled yourself in some way. Yeah, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories, but that's my story. Yeah, maybe I'll once it's up on the roof, I'll show you where I've put it, and you can have a look at it. Cool. Anyway, catch you next time, guys, and as always, live free.